Okay. Hey, everybody. Pat Casella here, USDLA Executive Director. And one of the tasks I've had for a while was to create a video leveraging this newly developed USDLA board member orientation. A big shout out to Shanna Garrett for helping to get this moving along. And I've added some things to it. We've got it to a point where we want to get it out to everyone, but I thought a video to go along with it might be really good. So, not going to be too long, but I want to walk y'all through it here. Um, the first thing, welcome to USDLA. Just so you know, the intention of this was for new board members that are coming on. We didn't have a formal document or process for bringing them onto the board effectively. A lot of us have been on the board for a long time, so this is really for some of the new members that are coming along. And these are some of the things that we're going to go over inside of this presentation. What is the organization? What does our structure and service look like? What are the responsibilities? How do the board members contribute? Some logistics on setting up accounts and whatnot. So let's dive into it here. First things first. So you'll get a Gmail address. So we use a USDLA.org domain. So your email address, for example, mine is pcasella@usdla.org. We use the first initial and then your last name. And then to access it, you go to google.com. Right when you click in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Gmail. Just make sure you're logged into that particular account. The first time I create it, I'll send you out a password and you'll be into the email. And it's important because we have to have USDLA.org domains for a lot of the protected content that we have for the association. So it's harder to use your secondary email. All right. As I mentioned before, this document was created as like a primary starting tool to kind of get you going. It's not going to cover everything. I mean, we have almost 40 years of existence. It's impossible. But this will help bring you up to speed more quickly. And as you go through the document, you're going to see a lot of external references to other documents, which again is important to the previous screen because you're going to need access to these documents. They're on a Google Drive. So you'll see like a resource link, and I tried to put as many resource links there in as possible. Okay. So it's a purpose, we're working together for an improved distance learning experience. Work it backwards. We want the remote learner to have a really incredible experience. How do you do that? You make sure that the educators are well versed in teaching in an online world. Okay. And that is really what we're all about these days. It's more on the pedagogy side than it is for the actual setting up a distance learning network, which was the history of our association, how we got started in the beginning. It was more of a how do you build a distance learning network? Now it's so easy to set up a Zoom meeting or WebEx meeting or Google Meet or just pick your favorite application. So, now it's much different and really focused on the education, the training, the resources that these educators need to become effective in delivering online education. And you'll see there's like a little resource link. I'm not going to click on it, but if you clicked on it right there, that's going to take you to the USDLA website and you can become familiar with the association there, which I would encourage. A lot of even existing board members, you really should go to USDLA.org and become familiar with all the pages that are up there. Okay, leadership. We're governed by a set of bylaws and we're actively managed by a board of directors. Subset of that board of directors is the executive committee defined in the bylaws. That consists of president, president-elect, past president. So there's always a triage. There's always three folks that work really closely together to help make sure the association can continue forward. The past president is also referred to as the chair of the board. We then have a secretary, a treasurer, advisory board chair, membership chair, and a chapters chair, all folks that make up the executive committee. Okay. You have to be on the board for a year before you are eligible to become elected to the executive committee. Okay. We have an advisory board. It's kind of I'm a baseball guy. I like to call it our farm system, where folks are coming up and they're getting familiar with the association, but not on the full board, but they are like the eyes and ears of the association, right? Listening to what's going on out there, making suggestions, et cetera. My hope is that folks go to the advisory board and then eventually become full board members as time goes on. And then three, chief executive officer, executive director. It's myself. I am appointed by the board. I serve at the pleasure of the board. General supervision and management of the operations of the association. I spend quite a bit of time. This was supposed to be kind of a retirement type of opportunity, but I find that, my Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesdays are pretty packed. Those are my full days. So, there's quite a bit that goes on behind the scenes from an operational standpoint. And I've had the good fortune of being involved with the association for almost 20 years now. So I know a lot of the underpinnings and operations of the association. Resource link here, bylaws. So if you clicked on this, this is going to take you over to the Google Drive, and you'll go and see the USDLA bylaws. All right, board of director expectations. A few things here. Number one, stay engaged, right? Go to the board meetings, join a committee, participate, become active. There's no sense of coming onto the board if you're not going to dig in. If you want to just put it as an item on your resume, you're not going to last the year. I mean, that's been my observation over the last several years. Okay. So get involved, stay involved, share your expertise. You're on the board for a reason. You have a passion for education, be it from the educator standpoint or myself from a technology standpoint, but share your expertise, contribute to the association, make a difference, right? Promoter sponsors, they are the lifeblood of the association. Not only we're members of the association, we have membership dues that helps fund the association from a revenue standpoint, but the sponsors are right there. And, they're really important because they contribute to the pedagogy of the educators, right? What are the latest and greatest tools? What is out there from a service standpoint? What are other folks doing? So talk about our sponsors. The more that we can promote them, the better chance they're going to come back to us and become a sponsor in following years. Become a brand ambassador. Talk about USDLA whenever you can. It could be a friend, a relative, colleague, sponsor, partner, vendor, right? Talk about us. You should always be doing that as a board member, honestly. Help recruit sponsors. If you have a vendor that's in your association institution and you think they might become a good partner for us, and we can help introduce them to other members of the association, well, go ahead and talk about that, right? Everybody has an obligation to be a salesperson in that respect, help recruit partners and sponsors. And then following trends, we have a Smart Brief newsletter. It is a partnership we have with Smart Brief, and they contribute and create and curate the content on a weekly basis. Make sure you're subscribed to it. All right, that's super important. So a bunch of resource links here. We have blog submissions for those of you who want to submit blogs, our LinkedIn group, become a partner page, USDLA partners at the bottom of the page. Okay, that's for signing up. And then our Smart Brief newsletter, subscribe. All right, committee and role responsibilities. We have several committees. Each are led by a chair. Committees are categorized per our bylaws. There's an ad hoc committee, which is defined in the bylaws. Executive committee also defined in the bylaws, as well as standard. The ad hoc ones come and go. So in other words, the executive committee defined very strict in the bylaws what the executive committees are. Same with the standard committees. But ad hoc ones could be ones like our grant committee or our analytics committee. And they're ones that the president, the active president, can come up with during their term at any point in time. Might last for a year. Some might go on longer, multiple years. But those are the ad hoc committees. But important, join a committee. Okay, there's a couple of links here. One goes to the committee overview. One goes to the committee matrix. Go to both of them. The committee overview will tell exactly what each of those committees are responsible for. The committee matrix defines who is part of each of the committees. We have kind of gotten away from having very formal individual committee meetings, and the reason being we have a weekly meeting right now. This is on a Monday at 1 p.m. It covers conference and events, membership, and communications, three of the very important committees that make up that are part of USDLA. But I would really like to see other committees become more organized and have regular meetings. We have several that, come to mind, but just these certain examples out there. I'd like to see somebody take over grants. We have an advisory board committee, which stays fairly active, but we could be a little bit more active with that down the road. There's lots of different ones. Professional development, our credentialing committee. So just take a look at these links over here and see which ones that you're interested in. And you just let somebody on the executive team know, myself, president, president-elect, chair, that you want to sign up for one of the committees. And we don't have tons of people. We have a maximum of 20 board members. So stay involved and just communicate. Process handbook, probably the most important document that we have. Started this several years ago to complement the bylaw document. So while the bylaw defines what we should be doing as an association, process handbook defines how we're doing it. If you look at it in there, you'll see important information like login information for some of our social accounts. You will see information about what the membership committee should be doing. You'll see information in there on how we break down and do communications. It has a lot. Like it's a living document. Whenever somebody comes up with a new process or says, hey, that's important, where is it documented? We go and put it into the process handbook. It's one of those documents that ensures continuity and ensures the existence of the association. Okay. And there again, here's the link to the process handbook. Email groups, social media, website. So three very, very important things. I create groups every year based on the elections, which we hold in March and April every year to determine who's going to be on the board. So those are email groups that are like shortcuts, like who's ever on the membership committee is membership@usdla.org, and the awards, communications, etc. Even all the board members will be on that 2627 BOD all email group. Just an easy way if you need to communicate with everybody. General rule at USDLA, if you're involved with a committee, good. That's great. Sometimes there's cross-committee communication. Important to use these group email addresses to make sure everybody is staying in tune with one another because there's a lot of interdependencies between the groups. Primary website pages, you can see them on here, the conference page and chapters, and our blog and news. We get tons of views on the blog page. If you want to contribute to the blogs, please do so. There was a link in the previous page. I'm looking, yeah. There's a USDLA website. Other resources, social media, super important. I want to see you as a board member involved with LinkedIn, especially. I want to see you following our partners. I want to see you reposting their posts on LinkedIn. It helps them realize the value of the association. So absolutely become more involved on LinkedIn. Facebook, to a lesser degree, I try to repost sometimes on Facebook. But our LinkedIn is really like our bread and butter right now as we try to build up our Instagram. And we also have USDLA.TV, which are all of the videos that we produce. So you'll see webinars, you'll see blog videos. Anytime we produce content, especially when we're at the conference every year, they're going to be up on USDLA.TV. Okay, we're rounding up here. MemberLeap, we have a platform called MemberLeap. It is our association membership platform. We implemented it now, probably going on our 4th year. In the past, it was like we had one application that did registration for events, and we had one that was for paying your membership dues, and we had another one for a whole bunch of disparate applications. Now it's an all-in-one tool. called MemberLeap. Part of your onboarding, you'll get a MemberLeap account. And from there, I advise you to go in and take a little tour, find out what the tool is capable of. Um, to access it, you go to the USDLA.org webpage. As you see here, access and login. And in the upper right corner, it'll say member login. Click there, username, password, you log in. When you log into the homepage, and I'm going to put a disclaimer, these pages literally just change the look a little bit because MemberLeap did an upgrade literally less than a week ago. But you'll get the idea of navigation when you get in there, that there's a page for the members to go and pay their dues, chat with other members, access documents, get a membership certificate. These are all things that you can do within this MemberLeap tool. For the administrators, some of us are administrators, predominantly the our membership person, Sue Porter. Sue handles membership for us. She is an admin on the system. Valerie currently as doing events, myself, admins. There's several of us that are admins. As you sign up for committees, depending upon what your responsibilities are, you will have certain admin level permissions within MemberLeap. And it'll let you do a lot of different things. Broadcast emails out to the members. If you're doing membership, you could send invoices, you can create events. Very, very powerful tool. And you'll see there is also a link there to the MemberLeap login. Final thoughts. Again, tried to do this relatively quickly, but always available to answer questions, as are anyone on the board. If you're a new member coming in, number one, we appreciate you. Okay. Understand fully that this is not your full-time gig, that you more than likely are working. We do have some board members that are retired, but for the most part, they're still working and they work hard. So, anything that you can do to contribute to the association, it's greatly appreciated. We are a volunteer association for the most part. 95% of our resources are volunteers. So, thank you for trying to make a positive difference in the world of distance education. It's really appreciated. Remember to reach out. Welcome to the table. Communication for the association is key to our success. Get more and more people involved. We have to make sure that we're constantly telling people about USDLA and the benefits of USDLA and what we stand for and how we're trying to help educators. And that, our goal is to improve the remote learner outcome. Be an advocate. Okay. And lastly, and I've learned this over the years, like I said, I've been involved with USDLA 20 years. Strive for that work-life balance. I truly understand how valuable your personal time is. So, you've got your work time, you got your personal time. I appreciate if you can throw a little bit of time into the association. Some people spend hours per week. Some people spend hours per month. I would consider that the minimum. But, again, you're on the board for a reason. Make a difference. You're not going to make a difference by just putting your name on the board and on the committee sheet and not doing anything. It's not going to be personally satisfying at the end of the day. So again, balance it out. But please, if you get to a point and you're on the board and you just can't do it anymore, it's fine. We've had a lot of people that go through these times in their lives where they just back off and they go to the advisory board, less of a commitment. And sometimes they move right back up to the board when life changes for them. But we understand that life happens. Okay. I want you to understand that. Thanks for being part of the association. And I got a comment there. Oh, it's nice. But thank you. Appreciate you. Glad that you're on board. Again, any comments on this document, you could certainly send them to me, and I'll make any changes. It will be a living document. It will be up on the Google Drive. So again, welcome to the family. Truly, USDLA is a family. The more and more you become familiar with this association, you will absolutely see that family value. Some of the long-term members that have been in the association, we go back together for decades. Okay. And I've seen new members, I've seen ebbs and flow with the association. I've seen new members get really involved and really embrace that family value. So again, appreciate you and welcome to the USDLA family.